Welcome to Jewish Boy Calls His Mother. I'm your host, Sadia. This is my mother, Ima. Hey, Ima. All right.
How
So,
I get second billing.
yes, you always get second billing, Ima. It's called Jewish Boy Calls His Mother. Boy is first, mother is second. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, mother's always second.
So you record and you find topics and you work through everything and you post everything and do all that stuff. I love doing it. It's a hobby of mine, but just putting it out there. All right. So this week's
I gotta commend you. You've got the Jewish guilt down to a pat, but then again, you learn from the best.
exactly the passive aggressiveness I learned from my mother. Um, we're gonna go through some pictures. I uploaded some pictures on the Facebook page of Jewish Boy Calls His Mother, and I was able to upload a few more photos on my personal Facebook page.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna go through them, and I'm hoping to either jog your memory or have you know when these pictures were taken and what exactly happened and who some people are. We'll start off with the first one. So just give me 1 second. Let me just share a screen.
Do you have the sexy one of me when I was 17 years old at Atlantic City in my bathing suit?
Well, I don't know. I don't think I have that one. Okay. So you see this photo?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell me more about it? First describe it.
I don't remember it.
Well, first describe it. First describe it.
Okay, it's obviously me.
Yes.
With a couple kids, and it had to be when my first year of teaching in Baltimore City.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be. I mean, I can't think of it being anything else other than I remember going with chaperoning the sixth graders on a field trip to the zoo.
Okay.
I think that was it.
This was a field trip. Well, it seems like
I think it was.
There's these 3 kids. They're holding, one kid seems to be holding a Cracker Jacks box. The other one seems to be holding like a lunch bag. And you have your arm over one. Look like you're talking mid-sentence to the photographer. This one is similar. It seems like it correlates because you're wearing the same outfit. You're wearing this like tie-dye kind of, skirt suit, which is with a green headband, and you have long flowy hair. And you're right behind this like building with like a tall tower. Looks almost like a castle.
I'll tell you the truth. I don't remember it. I honestly don't.
Wow,
I don't remember anything about it. I'm just taking a guess that, like I said, it might have been that field trip to the zoo that I chaperoned for the sixth graders. That was when the only thing I remember from that trip was when they used to let the llamas run loose.
Mm-hmm.
And I was petting one of the llamas, and it spat me in the face.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think we've talked about that. Yeah, because the picture is screaming 70s. You can look at the cars. I think I see a Pinto all the way in the back. A blue Pinto parked. So
like I said, this one I remember very well.
This one is you as a little kid with my Aunt Ann and Aunt Judy. We had an episode with Aunt Judy way back. This was a staged photo. Was this taken like at a JCPenney or something?
No. This was what happened was I remember the photographer coming to the house, and my parents. No, it was something else. No, it was another one where they came. This was a different one. I remember the picture very well, but I don't remember. I think it was it had to be at some sort of store or something. Like sometimes Sears used to have these specials.
Yeah.
And you could have your kids taken. I remember when Etty and Hani and Yehuda were little. It was a $17 package. So I decided to take advantage of the $17 package. When I came to pick up the photographs the following week, the photographer, of course, was trying to convince me to buy all these other pictures he had taken of the kids, which were very fancy and, like on a higher level, but expensive. and your father was he was between jobs, and there was a whole line of women next to me to pick up their kids' pictures. And the photographer, I said, sorry, they're very nice, but I don't have the money. I'm sorry, my husband at this time is not regularly employed, and I can only afford the $17 package. So he says to me, well, we'll just rip them up. Of course, they say that to jerk your tears a little bit, don't rip up the picture of my precious children. I'll buy it. So when he said that to me, I looked him straight in the face and said, see my tears. And all these women cracked up laughing and started applauding.
Yeah, because it's total BS.
So as I was walking away, I got the pictures. I was walking away. This woman comes over to me. She says, I could just kiss you. And she told me that she sent her father to pick up the pictures of her son, who is his first grandchild. She said by the time she had sent him to pick up the $17 package, she said by the time that salesman was finished with my father, he had spent $150 on the pictures.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. That is a lot. So this one was probably one of those JCPenney like pictures, Sears pictures.
Sears. Right, I think so.
How old were you in this? Like 9?
Okay, Judy and I are 4 years apart. Ann and I are 3 years apart.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, Judy looks like
4 or
yeah, maybe 4. Right, so I had to be like 8.
Yeah.
And Anne had to be 11 at the time, I guess. Guess 11.
Okay. So this one.
That's my mother.
But she's in her home. I can tell. Like, look at the background.
Right. That's the house in Baltimore County. Our second house we moved to in Baltimore County.
Yeah. I remember visiting all the time and like reading the comics and pissing off Zadie because he wanted to watch the game and I wanted to watch some cartoons. So I think I went upstairs. I think I'd go to upstairs television and I would watch whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch the O's game. Like the only thing you can enjoy,
But all I know is when I hated the baseball games. I found them boring. I was never a sports fan. And when we would be driving in the car and say it was summer or springtime, it was baseball season, and we'd be listening to music on the radio and driving, and it was so nice to listen to all this nice music. And then he would switch to the baseball game and I would go, ugh.
That kind of reminds me with Tati, where like he would never listen to any music whatsoever in the car. Like maybe 1 or 2 times he was like listening to like Rolling Stones and like bopping to it. And like it got me really worried and uncomfortable. But like he'd always just listen to like Talk Radio 680 or pure raw silence. And like that's all you got. All right, let's go to the next one. This one's your graduation.
Oh, that was me and Aunt Judy. I think that was high school graduation for me.
Yep.
And maybe junior high graduation for her.
Correct.
And we still had the caps and gowns. And so my parents took pictures of us in our caps and gowns in front of the house.
How did you enjoy your graduation? Like, did you pull any pranks or do you remember
No, we didn't.
Excited?
Well, all I remember about my graduation is that there was no air conditioning. And the exit doors were all open were totally open in the auditorium, and everyone there was a woman. I think she had an electric fan or something and she was blowing on herself. But the way it was very interesting, the way that they did it was when they finished with one row, that row would sit down and the other would stand up very quickly. And the way that they did it was they had a teacher up in the balcony with a flashlight. And she would turn on the flashlight. And when she moved the flashlight from right to left or left to right, when she moved the flashlight, that was our signal for the first row to sit down and the second row to stand up. And that's how we did it very, very quickly.
Were you able to have time to see Judy's graduation or?
I don't remember anything about it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Really don't. I don't remember anything.
Womp 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 womp.
I do remember that picture, but I remember my graduation. I remember Aunt Anne's graduation,
Mhm.
but I don't. This is horrible. I don't remember.
Wow.
Judy's.
Okay.
But I do remember Aunt Judy's bas mitzvah
Oh,
in
really?
Tata. That I remember very well.
How was that?
Very, she was really she was very involved in it.
Yeah,
She
I
was,
mean,
she would sing
describe
all.
it like.
She would sing all the songs.
Mhm. That's all you have for her bat mitzvah. You that's all you can muster up for memory and experience. It's her knowing some songs. Okay,
The songs,
wonderful.
and I remember because I remember it was done at the new Beth Tefillah. They did it. They had moved to the county,
Ah,
and they did it. They had it at the new Beth Tefillah in the sanctuary.
okay. Next we have, this is Bubby Arena and two friends
What? Let me look. Let me
in
put on my
Drew-
glasses.
in Druid
and
Hill.
look
Hold
at
on one
that.
second. It's Faye Cohen, Helen Draskin, Rena Krieger at Camp Tamament, Pennsylvania, week of July 8th to 13th, 1946.
Oh my!
Yeah, they must have
What
gotten
is
all
it?
wild up.
Say the names again.
The
I'm getting
names
my-
are Faye Cohen, Helen Draskin, Rena Krieger at Camp Tamament, Pennsylvania, week of July 8th through the 13th, 1946.
I don't know. I don't know who the other two women were.
I could see one's a floozy. But yeah, that's okay. All right, moving on then.
My mother was a very nice looking young girl.
Oh, she was okay. All right. Ah, here it is. That's your wedding photo.
That's my wedding picture.
Your wedding
And
picture.
Aunt Anne and Aunt Judy
Yep.
sitting next to me.
What books are you holding? Looks like you're holding
One, okay, one was a Tehillim, because I was saying Tehillim. You're supposed to say the whole Tehillim the week of your
Yes.
wedding, and I was behind. I wasn't able to say it all.
You're supposed to say a whole bunch
So-
beforehand,
but-
and then
my mother had this white Bible that
wow.
she wanted me to walk with.
Oh, that's adorable.
So I wasn't about to tell her no.
Well, why?
so
What's wrong with the Bible?
It was like, it wasn't even like a chumash. It was just a plain English New Testament.
Oh, it's from the New Testament.
Not new. I'm sorry. About old. I'm sorry. Woo. Chas v'shalom.
That's what I was saying. Did it have the New Testament?
No. Erase that.
Okay.
That was
Nope. Sorry. It's going in. It's going in the podcast.
Erase.
So it
was a plain Old Testament. It was an Old Testament.
That's fine.
It was
That's
an
beautiful.
Old Testament in English.
That's okay.
So it was okay. It was nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean?
Nothing scandalous.
No.
Nothing wrong. It's just a sweet little thing. Like
Yeah.
I got a
Yeah.
I got a small little kiddish cup that Aunt Nita got for me to for the bris, but it was too small to really be used as a kos. But like the moil like was able to like dip some grape juice from that cup into my baby's mouth. So that's technically like the main cup. So like I was able to make it has some connection now and some stuff, but like whatever. Your wedding day, such a special moment.
I remember getting in my parents' car and driving to the hall, and it was a beautiful spring day.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful, absolutely lovely spring day, and sun was shining.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't believe it. It's like, I can't believe I'm driving to my wedding.
Wow.
I can't believe this. This isn't happening. It was like surreal. This is my wedding. This is my wedding day. I'm getting married. I can't believe I'm getting married.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of like funerals,
Oh, stop it.
Not in that sense, but like when I'm at a funeral, like sometimes it always get like thinking of like Tati and things like that.
I don't want to talk about funerals.
All right. Weddings, fantastic. Everything's beautiful. Oh, there's Aunt Judy at the wedding. So beautiful. So amazing. And then there is Bubby Bessie, Grandma Mary, and Bubby Frumma.
And behind Bubby Frumma is Aunt Anne's
first husband.
ex.
Okay. This is Aunt Froma with the mouse. Hopefully you can see it. If not, she's wearing the
Bubby.
pink. Bubby
Bubby,
Froma
yes.
is wearing the
Yeah.
pink dress.
I never called her Bubby Fruma. We all knew her by her English name, Fanny. Her English name was Fanny.
I had no idea. Oh,
Yes.
that's funny.
So in those days, most people did not use their Jewish names.
I know. They want to use their slave names because they felt self-conscious because they hate themselves and their Yiddishkeit. Whatever. That's my take on the day. What box are they holding? Hold on one second. Let's investigate this picture. What's this over here? It says something.
Oh, I'm not sure.
It's upside down. It looks like there's 3 separate names. I don't know.
I don't know either. I wasn't.
It's like they're asking. Look, because someone's speaking to. Who's this again?
Grandma Mary.
Grandma Mary.
That's Grandma Mary.
Speaking of Grandma Mary, there seems to be something going on over here. And then someone's taking. And
I don't know.
Yeah, you see some yentas in the background, just chit chatting. Ew. Whatever.
I'm not sure which yentas they are.
And there you are, 26 years old.
No,
teaching.
Was I 26 in that? Yeah.
1976. Sorry.
Okay, so I was 25.
You're 25. Sorry, I was off. This is you. This was a teaching. This is when you came from. This is definitely when you became from. You became from in 73.
I was living in New York at the time. Yeah, I was 25. I was that was one the school pictures they took. They gave the teachers complimentary school pictures.
So, is there a reason why you gave yourself a bob when you had really long hair last time you were teaching?
There was a girl in our I think dormitory who was a fashion model and had done like makeup and hair with. I think she felt that for my face I would look cuter in short hair.
Was she right?
And I think so.
Okay.
In fact, it's very much like the shade I'm wearing now. I mean that I wear now. That I wear every day.
I'm looking at the patterns on your shirt. So it's a very 70s, vibe. Oh, let me zoom out. All right.
What would you characterize the 70s style as?
I mean, I really think 70s, there was a lot of flair that was coming off from the 60s. But I think the 70s, everything was trying to was tight and then spreading out. Like you had the bell bottoms, you had the collars, and the collars always spread out. The bell bottoms always spread out, but everything else was like really tight. And like floral design was very strong, I would say. At least from like an outsider looking in.
Might be right about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is you and Anne, and I don't know who this is.
I think that was cousin Sheila.
Yes, Aunt Anne said it was cousin Sheila.
As a matter of fact, Sheila dyed her hair blonde. It was a blonde for the rest of her life practically, and she had blue eyes, and at that time when she was a teenager, when she was like 16, 17 years old, a very popular song on the radio was "Never Knew a Girl Like My Little Sheila, Blue Eyes and a Ponytail, Cheeks are rosy, she looks a little nosy, Mammy's little girl is mine." And so she had blue eyes and a ponytail, and so everybody was laughing about that song, and her name was Sheila.
She probably loved it being sung to it every 2 seconds by random strangers. Yeah. Like, oh, what's your name?
Yeah. Gina's like Aunt Anne always had that coal black hair, and I was actually born with blonde hair, and of course it got darker later.
Yeah.
But at that point, my hair was like a light brown, and see the 2 front teeth.
Yeah.
When I was 2 or 3 years old, maybe 3, I tried to get out of my crib, and I fell and knocked out those 2 front teeth. So until my adult teeth grew in, there are many pictures of me where I do not have those 2 front teeth.
That's what's so funny. That's why. No, darn, I hit the wrong button. I'll have to fix that. Okay. Yeah, I've seen other pictures. This one is Selma and Rena at Druid Hill Park on September 16th. I think 1930. This is
I have
Baltimore,
n-
1930 at Druid
I
Hill Park.
have no idea.
That's your bubby. I mean, that's your mom.
That my mother, yeah, it's my mother.
That's your mom.
Yeah. I have no idea who Selma is.
Selma Hayek. I don't know.
Um,
Oh, this is just the list of names you're gonna see in a second. This I think Bobby Rena's class, graduating class.
yeah, but I don't understand who the guys were. She went to an all-girls school.
So then it probably wasn't Bobby Reno, it's probably somebody else, but I don't know
Were they
who it is.
teachers?
I don't
I'm
know.
looking at let me look at the picture. I'm gonna see if
Let's
I'm
see.
looking to
Let's
see
see if we can see Bobby Rena.
if that is her. Does it say anything on the picture, anything, or
Well, like I said before,
it might not be
this
her? Class.
no, this
It,
is the
uh-huh.
so let's see. Mary Posner, Self-Right, England. It's just Blum, Ethel Blum. Seems like it. I don't know. I don't want to dwell too much on it. I don't want to soak up time. And this was you in Towson College.
Yes, that was my I think that was my junior year, I believe. Junior or senior year. I think that might have been my senior picture.
Nice. And this is you. I want more explanation. This is you as Mary Sunshine, first lead role, 08/16/1970. Care to elaborate?
Yes. At um at Baltimore City Community College, they had a drama you might say it was called a what's it called? Summer stock is what it was called, workshop in theater.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did was they didn't do the entire musical of Mary Sunshine. What they did was they took excerpts from Mary Sunshine from three popular musicals: Mary Sunshine, what's that called? On a clear day, and the other one was Bloomer Girls, Bloomer Girl, and I auditioned. Of course, I did. I took the workshop. During the workshop they had professional dancers that taught us, dance moves. You had, of course, people to coach us in acting, and so I was chosen for the lead role in Mary Sunshine. And Mary Sunshine is it's a joke. It's a musical. It's a comedy, and it's supposed to be a spoof on I don't know that it was. I guess would be like today would be like Dudley Do Right of the Mounties.
Oh,
Remember with
okay.
Now? Yeah. Only this was way before that. This was I think Mary Sunshine was a musical that was done I think in the 30s or 40s that was poking fun at the the hero and the sweet young girl with the hero rescuing her and stuff like that. It was basically like I said, it was supposed to be like a spoof on those type of stories, and it was about Mary Sunshine has takes place in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and she has this like inn, and she has this she was adopted. She was adopted. She was left out in the woods or something. I think her parents were killed or something, and she gets adopted by an Indian tribe. So she has an Indian father who's part of the musical. And
Ima, can you
yeah.
make sure that your face is in screen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was using a magnifying glass.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I see what you mean. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So
mhm.
so anyway, so you get the whole thing, and there's this Canadian mounted policeman who is in love with Mary Sunshine and proposes to her, and all those things.
Okay.
Yeah, those things,
So you got the lead part.
So I got the lead part, yeah.
That's awesome.
And the funny thing, I'd tell you something funny, kind of.
Yeah.
It's dated, but okay. This is kind of the 70s.
Okay, we'll
And
let
my
that
mother
slide.
was raised during the 20s and 30s when there was a lot of racial prejudice.
Okay.
Okay. The leading man, my opposite leading man, was a black guy.
Okay.
So there's a scene where we hold hands, and when he proposes to me, we kiss each other. So after the play, after the whole presentation was over, my mother says to me, "See how liberal I am? When you kissed that black boy, I didn't jump out of my seat and yell. I sat there nicely and quietly."
Oh my God. Yeah, that's the 70s, all right. That's for sure. I have a question about this picture because
That's my father, and he
he's
was at that time working for my great uncle Danny, his uncle Danny. He and his uncle Danny were only 2 years apart.
oh wow.
And he said, in fact, when he was in elementary school, he would see his uncle on the playground and run up to him and go, "Uncle Danny, Uncle Danny." And naturally, his uncle, this is elementary school, would like say, would like kind of push him away quietly and say, "Shut up." Because all the kids would tease his uncle about Uncle Danny. The way my father ran over to him, they go, "Uncle Danny, Uncle Danny."
That's awesome.
So anyway, my uncle Danny owned a very famous five-star restaurant called Danny's on Charles and Biddle Street in Baltimore. And in fact, there were some
Where was it
recipes.
located?
Charles and Biddle,
How do you spell
Charles
Biddle?
Street and Biddle. And it was a very world famous restaurant. As a matter of fact, WCBM on Monday nights used to have a sports program from the restaurant where they would interview
Interesting.
sports figures. And when my uncle Danny passed away, it was very disappointing because Levinson thought that such a great restaurateur, such a famous person, that the crowd was going to be tremendous. Hardly, it was just the immediate family showed up and a few friends. And of all
Wow.
the sports people that he entertained in his restaurant, only one thought enough to show up.
Who was that?
Was Art Donovan.
Art Donovan.
Art Donovan. And not only that, he was one of his pallbearers. So many years later, Tom Marr, who was a talk show host, was talking about my uncle on his program. And so I called up and told him that I was Danny Dickman's niece. And he was talking about Art Donovan. He was talking about my uncle and Art Donovan and all the sports people that my uncle had at his restaurant. And I mentioned it to Tom Marr that Art Donovan was such a wonderful person that he was of all the sports figures, like I said, like I just told you, that my uncle had in his restaurant, Art Donovan was the only one who thought enough to show up at his funeral.
There's like a Baltimore Sun article about Daniel D. Dickman.
Right.
He passed away. Hold on a second. This news clipping is from October 18th, 1993.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Try to see if there's any pictures. Nope, no pictures. Wow, that's really interesting.
And there are even some famous recipes that have been attributed to him.
Like
he was
what?
also a chef. This is the thing. This is the thing, Brody's about the steak Diane.
The steak Diane.
The steak Diane. I was reading Benson and Hedges Cigarettes had a booklet of famous recipes and what their origins were, and they said that they mentioned about the steak Diane being the recipe for the steak Diane being originated at Danny's restaurant. So I was thinking we were curious. We Googled it or something. We did. My sister and I think we Googled it or something, and it said that they weren't sure. The information that we got was that they weren't sure, but they only knew that it did come from a restaurant in Baltimore.
Oh wow! So that's pretty cool. All right.
So this is my father when he was working at my uncle's restaurant.
So this is your father with I believe, I don't know.
I don't think that's my father. Let me get the mic. Now I see my Grandma Mary. Oh yeah, that's my father. You're right. Grandma Mary and my mother's mother, my Bubby. We would call my father's mother, we would call Grandma. And my mother's mother we called Bubby.
What was your first name? Bubby what?
But no, we didn't call her by her first. Well,
No, what was her
her,
first name?
her first name was Fanny,
Oh,
but her
Frumma.
Yiddish name was Frummy. Yeah, but we never called her Bubby Fanny or Bubby Frumma. We just called her plain Bubby because she was my mother's mother was Bubby, and my father's mother was Mary was Grandma.
Okay, and Mary's on the left.
Yes, on my father's left. No, my father's right.
Whatever you're looking at,
my
whatever
father's
you're
right.
looking at
Okay.
is the
Grandma
left.
Mary is on my
Done.
father's right,
And
and
here,
Bubby is that's my
here's-
mother.
Yep, your mother again. Very beautiful picture. Another picture of your mother in a swimsuit. There's you
Yes.
at like 6 years old, so proud of riding a two-wheeler, but you got trainers on it, so it doesn't count. Looking at your son, looking at your glasses too. I think they have little wings.
You should know though the glasses at the time
Mm-hmm.
that the early 50s was when they came out with all these like colors and shapes and like really pretty glasses. And my parents were when they took me to get my glasses, they were just they were like thrilled. They said, "Look at these beautiful glasses." Remember when? And they said to each other, "Remember when we were kids and the only glasses we could get were the big, ugly, round ones." In fact, my mother had to wear glasses as a child,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really sad. In those days, during the 20s and 30s, children who wore glasses were teased like crazy. They were called the kids used to call my mother four-eyed monkey.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Because
right.
because the glasses in those days were they were well, now they're in style, the Harry Potter glasses, because
Yeah.
Harry Potter, the Harry Potter movie has
Shtetl
popularized
glasses.
them. But in those days, the only glasses available were the Harry Potter glasses.
Oh wow.
And a lot of kids really suffered because of it. In fact, there was a saying that that for girls who wear glasses, boys don't make passes.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's got to be an ouch.
Yeah, but it was like I said, the 1950s was when they changed all that and came out with really like attractive, cute, like pink glasses, and like my glasses. I remember one pair of glasses I had. They were like the top. I think I'm wearing those glasses in that picture. The top were like little red bricks, like red and white brick pattern on the glasses.
Yeah, it looks like it's something on the glasses. It looks like wings. That's why I was saying.
Yeah.
But yeah. Here's a picture of you with Aunt Ann and Bubby and Zadie. Someone's taking a picture.
I think that's Aunt Ann's birthday party because I think we're wearing those party hats.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It is.
That was her birthday. That was the famous birthday picture with my uncle, with my aunt, my cousin Lee being held by my Uncle Al.
Yeah.
That's my mother and my father holding us.
Okay. And here's the other photo picture.
Here's the famous birthday picture.
And then here's your mother. There's a beautiful picture of your mother.
That was one of those picture things that you put in those days. I think a nickel or 25 cents.
Yeah.
And you got a whole slew of pictures.
It's you and
yeah,
definitely
Aunt Judy. Yeah, you could see, by the way, how blonde my hair was as a kid.
I can definitely tell.
Yeah.
I'm realizing more and more that we've just been talking about pictures but not describing them. And it's like 5 minutes until the episode's over. So listeners, if I do apologize, try to go on YouTube to watch this. But we're just going through pictures and hopefully jotting some fun stories. And hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Here's a funny picture. It seems like you're making.
I remember my friends. Oh my gosh, we were joking around.
Yeah, you're making a funny face of like with your eyes crossed. And there's Aunt Judy with. Hold on, I wrote this down.
Okay.
It's with Judy
Spiezler.
Well, how do you spell his last name?
Spiezler. He was the brother of my sister's ex, and we were good friends. In fact, still are. And he is he's the father of your cousin Tova's husband.
Oh, that's
Alex,
him.
That's his father.
Was it like a summer?
Yeah, it was summer and we all piled, it's like we all piled into, there were some other pictures here too. We all piled into the photo booth. And
You made
that's me and Bubby Rena.
what occasion was this?
This was at
Selma,
Aunt Ann's
Willie and Selma's
house.
anniversary.
Right. That was Selma was my sister's ex-mother-in-law.
Mm,
Hmm.
okay. Here's another
Now
picture.
that picture I remember very well
Okay.
because the photographer came to the house and my mother going, "Oh my gosh!" I don't know if she forgot the appointment or if he showed up suddenly. I don't know what it was, but it was hurry up and get dressed and brush your hair. We had to hurry up and run upstairs and put on nice dresses, very quickly.
Yeah, this was a couple years after the J.C. Penney picture.
Oh, quite a few years afterwards, yeah. And that's I don't. Oh, you recognize the little boy in the front there, don't you?
Well, there's Yosef,
That's Yosef.
there's Menachem, there's Frummy, there's Bubby, and there's Tova. What's funny is
Right.
Tova looks a lot like you, when you were a kid.
I don't think so. I never had that beautiful long black hair.
No, I'm not talking about black hair. I'm talking about like just the cheekbones, the nose, the eyes,
Could be.
a little bit. But yeah, hold on.
Okay.
So that's actually kind of cool. I'm kind of glad we went through everything. There's probably more photos I want to go through. Maybe we'll do it like a second part next time. Just to go through it and just reminisce and maybe jog some more memories. I was surprised how much about your great uncle, your uncle Danny.
Mm-hmm.
He was really big and famous in Baltimore.
He was on television. He was on television. There's a picture of him with the host of this television show, and he was demonstrating his recipes on television.
That's kind of sad. Not sad, but like goes to show you almost of like at the end of the day what you put into it. Like, it's the people that love you that really care about you when you're gone. Like, yeah, I would think like just a quick skim of Danny's, the restaurant, and like I get like Baltimore Sun article after article, picture after picture, all these folds and stuff about Danny's this and Danny's that. I'm like, whoa. And then like what you said, it was just like this is his immediate family at his funeral. I mean, Tati's funeral also was the same thing. That was because of COVID. It was only we like had a minion and that was it, and just us siblings and you.
I remember, and we all had to mask up and stand a distance apart and
yeah.
That was boy.
I mean, that's why I always ask myself, like, if that was something maybe like Halavai, like that's kind of what he wanted, So was like your uncle also like that in a way where he was like he might seem like he was a big shot, quote unquote, but he would like the small life.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he was. I don't know. He was. How do I say it? That generation was very, very much involved in their parnasa, and I'm not judging them because they, after growing up during the 1920s, when your parents were poor immigrants, and then hitting a major depression, where, when we talk about people starving, we're not talking about macaroni twice a week. We're talking about starvation, real serious starvation. And there were no food stamps at the time. So anyway, that generation was very, very much like into their parnasa. And it was hard. It was hard to really talk to him and get close to him.
That was most men back in the day anyways.
It was. Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right. I love you. I'll give you a call. I'll talk there. Have a wonderful week.
And I think it was terrific to go over these pictures with you.
Yeah. So I think we'll do it again. We have other pictures as well.